Good evening, guys. It is February 7th, 11:50 at night. Pretty late getting started with the vlog today, only because I've been pretty busy otherwise with today. So, today's vlog is going to be about um, people noticing, and I'll tie that in relation to your effort, the effort you put forth on a daily basis. So I want to start by reading this text I got from a good friend of mine who I used to work with, who used to work at the place I work at now. So he sent me this text, and granted, we haven't talked. I mean, we see each other at work. He'll still come in to like hang out and stuff, but he wrote me this text the other day, just unbeknown, and this was yesterday. He wrote me this text, and there was no conversation prior to this in the text, but this is what he wrote me. Fabian, what's good, bro? Just thought about you, man. You were definitely doing your thing around the bar this weekend, man. Keep it up, my brother. So, what I want to get across in today's video is about people noticing your efforts. This was the first time that I had like a portion of the bar under my sole control. Because my brother works with me at the bar, but he was taking the night off. He was still there, but he was taking the night off behind the bar to celebrate some festivities with a friend of his. So I had a portion of the bar, and I was trying to handle it as best as I could. I'm not fully trained, as some may call it in the bartender world, but that's what I was doing that evening with bartending, and I filled my little brother's position for that evening in the section he normally works in the bar. And I was trying to do my best as possible. Um, Throughout the night, I got a couple different compliments on the drinks that I made, and was able to handle it. I thought pretty well to myself, and that was on Saturday. So, come Monday, yesterday, I got that text from my good friend there who used to work there. And for me to get that text, it just really, I appreciate it when people notice. I wasn't looking for anything, I wasn't looking for recognition, but people tend to notice hard work. And I appreciate that a lot. I mean, the gratitude that somebody took the time to send me a text message about the way that I was working, and doing my thing, so to speak, was huge to me. I mean, to me, it didn't go unnoticed. I was trying my butt off that night, and I'm glad. I mean, my manager noticed and commended me for handling it pretty well, and other people said I did pretty well. But to get it from my friend on a Monday morning means that it must have sat with him for quite some time. Maybe he deliberated it and came up with that conclusion, which truly means a lot to me, because people will tell you all the time, oh, you're doing great things, oh, you're having you're doing all this awesome stuff, but sometimes you don't really know whether or not they mean it. For me, the inspiration comes from a couple days later on a Monday afternoon, in the midst of doing whatever, I get a random text message from a friend who we haven't texted in quite some time. We talk to each other face to face, but I didn't, we don't text as often as we used to. So for me to get that, it just proves that, sometimes when you do put your best foot forward and you are trying your butt off, people do take notice. And sometimes people won't even write to you. So that was just one person who decided to write to me. What if there was other people thinking the same thing but just didn't take the time to write to me? That to me, not to like blow up myself or make myself out more than I am, but for me to get that text message just means that I was doing something right that evening. And in the midst of all the chaos, because it was pretty busy that night, I happened to, stand out to this individual in some sort of way that resonated with him, and now it resonates with me. So I do want to emphasize to, today's youth and people in general, that you should always be trying to give your maximum effort in anything that takes your time. So, I mean, whether you're working or going to school or trying to follow your passion, like I am with these vlogs, you should be giving maximum effort every time you're going to sit down and do something, or stand up and do something, or work, or focus your intentions on school. Like, truly focus. I've talked about this before, but if you gave, what is the average percent that you say you'd give on a daily basis? Do you think you absolutely give 100% every day in what you do? Probably not. But do you have the potential to? Absolutely. So why not try and give your maximum effort, because it's what you have to offer. And hard work, I was talking to one of my managers and we were joking about something. She said hard work never killed anybody. And I found that to be, funny, because it's true. So many people today are afraid to work hard because of, maybe they're afraid of their responsibility. I've talked to, mentored a couple people who just didn't want to progress in their field because they didn't want the responsibility. They were perfectly happy where they were at. And that's perfectly fine too. If you don't want any more responsibility, you got your education, you got a job which you'd like, and you're not necessarily into the whole managing thing, then maybe settle into that. That's not a bad gimmick as well. But why not strive to be your best and potentially be your best to other people? I'm always looking for more responsibility, and I love leadership. I was very, like I said, shy at first, but once I grew into myself and got groomed by the military, I found that leadership is a passion of mine as well. Leading troops and then leading people out after I got out of the military. And I really like doing it. And you never know who is looking up to you, or who is watching you, or who's paying attention to you. You truly never know. Like that, my friend in the bar, he was just sitting there. He's made mention of it before, but I guess, I was doing certain things, and there was, when he had made mention to me, I was making 4 different drinks at the same time. Granted, they were all the same things, but they were Long Island iced teas, which require a couple different liquors and mixers, and then, other things that go into it. And during the course of making those, I ran out of at least three or four, possibly, 5 different ingredients that were going into it that I'd have to go and get a refill for during the course of that, just because it was a little bit busier than normal. So, because I stay focused, because I stay on track, because I was trying to give maximum effort at that point in time, because I knew we were short-handed to a certain extent, people paid attention to that, and they paid attention to my effort. Now, that just solidifies what I'm trying to say, is that you truly never know who's watching. You never know who's going to try to mimic you or your actions. Or why not try and give 100% every day? What do you have to lose by giving 100%? You have everything to gain and nothing to lose in my eyes. So why not try and give 100% every day in everything you do? Even if it's being a father, you should try and be the best father that you can be every single day, because you can make a difference in your child's life and any person you come into contact with. So those are the things that I have for today. I found it very, pleasing to receive that text message out of the blue. I thought I'd share it with you guys, and I'd like you guys to, try to do your best and give your best in everything that you do. And if you figure out that you're giving your best and something just isn't for you, just isn't panning out, sometimes you have to cut your losses early. and get out early and not waste your time or another individual's time if you feel like you're truly not good at it. But like I've come across some people that I've mentored in the academic arena who say I'm not good at English or I'm not good at math. Have you tried? Put the same effort into trying at math or trying at English that you put into other stuff that you've been successful at, like playing video games, like managing social media? If you give social media to a person who is, elder, like much elder, like in their 70s, 80s, and 90s, they may have trouble navigating social media because they just don't comprehend it. But if you give them the time to learn it, that doesn't mean that they can't do it. That means that they will do it. But you need to have that same frame of mind and the same effort that you put into certain things that may not benefit your life. Why not put it into other things that can and will benefit your life, like education, like following your passions and your dreams, and or work? I mean, an average worker is just that, average. Why not set yourself apart for success? You will outshine everybody else by giving 100% because you wouldn't believe the amount of people that don't. They just do enough to get by on a daily basis, and enough sometimes isn't enough. Like I've said before, we always do what we have to, not what we should. So if you're not living up to those, shoulds, then why not? Why aren't you doing that? You need to try and strive to be the best at everything you possibly can be. And you try your butt off till something either doesn't pan out or it does. But you know that at the end of that evening, when you get home and you weren't a success or you were a success, either way you tried your butt off. And that's all you can be happy with. I notice that I sleep better at night when I have a highly interactive day. So when my day is jam-packed full of stuff, it resonates in my sleep, and I sleep better because I'm mentally exhausted and physically exhausted. When you put those two things in a combination, I mean, it's a formula for sleep in my respects. With having trouble sleeping and now, sleeping a little bit better than I have, but it's because my schedule's picked up. It's not sedentary anymore. So those are the things I want to leave you with today. I really appreciate you guys watching. I did want to make mention that I am at 9 subscribers now, and we are in the second week. Just started the second week of February, and again, my goal was 10 subscribers by the end of this month, and I am 1 subscriber away from that. So this is just to prove to you guys that you've got to follow your dreams. You got to build this path in order to leave a legacy. And once I get 10 subscribers, trust me, you guys will know, because I will definitely talk about it. But the other thing, my friend had given me some pieces of advice after he watched the video about looking away from the camera too often. I do that because I'm not 100% comfortable yet talking to a camera. It's very different, to say the least. And I'm trying to work on it. I've tried a little bit better in this video than I have in the past. And then the other thing he told me to do was smile more, which I'm trying to. But some of these conversations are more serious and not. I mean, some of them are lighthearted, but they're more serious, and they're to, engage the audience on that serious aspect of what the point I'm trying to get across. So we'll see what comes up for tomorrow. Don't know quite what that vlog is going to be about. But again, I appreciate you guys watching and look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Take care.